Hi, good evening, and how are you doing? Today is the last trading day for the month of June. You can also look at it as the last trading day for the last month of the first half of 2025. So, how has your investment portfolio performed? Have you beaten inflation? Have you underperformed inflation? Have you beaten indexes in the case of the stock market? Anyways, let me know in the comment section. So I'll be looking at numbers for the downstream sector of the oil and gas space. I'm looking at oil and gas companies playing in the downstream space that are listed on the stock market in Nigeria. And you have three of these firms, except I've forgotten any, but I doubt that. You have Eterna, you have Conoil, and you have Total. So what I've tried to do is to work out where I think these stocks um, should be trading in a year from now or at the end of the current financial year. So give or take a year from now. Now, for Eterna, I have a hold view simply because the company would be raising capital sometime soon. They're going to seek shareholder approval at a special meeting, I think holding in the month of July, if I recall correctly, and they want to raise about 50 billion. Now, ideally, I would have tried to do the numbers just showing where this stock should be trading at, what time you include the extra equity that you're going to raise. But I was a bit pressed for time. But let's see how it goes. By the time the half year or H1 2025 numbers are out, maybe if I'm a bit free, I'd come back and look at those numbers. So I have a hold view on Eterna. Conoil have a sell. It's a clear decision. The stock is trading at its current if it maintains the same performance for the rest of FY 2025, it will end up with 1 naira and 68 kobo in earnings. And even if you double that figure to 3 naira, which is optimistic, but let's even just do that for the sake of clarity, it will still be trading at about over 70 times earnings. So it's trading way higher than Total, which you can call its peer. Um, and yes, Total has Q1 numbers for Total were negative. I think those numbers will return to profit. So that's why I have a hold period. But there's no way you can justify a PE ratio of about 139 times earnings for corn oil. It's just not. I mean, this is downstream oil and gas. You can see the profit margins. I have profit margins in this space are small, so there's no justification for these margins. And so the only factor that would stop Total from hitting my price point is that it's not a very liquid stock. Um, and I'll probably go online to show you what I mean by liquid and compare all three firms. But just so you know, as always, and I can see my rationale there, Q3 forecast for Total showing profit. So it's possible Q2 might be profitable, but if it's not profitable, let's wait and see. Um, for Eternal equity raising, it works. My rationale for Conoil is clear. It's trading way higher than average P on the NGX. Earnings don't justify current prices. Forward earnings, that is my estimate of what it will make in another 9 months or so, in addition to the first quarter earnings. So, as clearly stated, this is not a buy, sell, or hold. It's not a hold, it's not a buy or sell. This is also not trading advice or financial advice. You need to do your own research. I haven't looked at the technical analysis for these firms, but I suspect that at least for Cornell, there's no way technical analysis would say buy anyway. Total, I'm not too sure of. But I guess we can also jump and look at that as well. So let's first go to the NGX website so you understand what I mean by the fact that a stock isn't liquid. Um, so we'll go to the NGX site. At the same time, let's also go to the technical analysis charts for this firm. So trading view Eterna PLC. And then let's look at Conoil first. So take con. Can I get Conoil? Yeah. So let's do one by one. So let's look at Conoil. You can see trading volumes for the last few days. Last week, all trading less than 100,000. In my view, I think any stock that is trading less than 100,000 is illiquid. And when you say it's illiquid, it's just difficult to get in, and more importantly, it's difficult to get out. So let's look at Eterna. Eterna is way more liquid, probably the most liquid stock of all of them. So you take Eterna, you'll see, and you can see, yeah, you argue it's a bit more liquid. And all things being equal, if the equity raise is successful and is not largely held by institutional players, then maybe you might have a bit more liquidity in the stock. But it's way more liquid. You can see it's traded over 100,000, and last couple of trading sessions, a few of those sessions is done over 1 million. So not bad. And then let's look at total downstream, and total is in liquid as well. So these are factors I want you to consider. So it's not just enough to say is the stock cheap or reasonable in valuation, is it liquid? And so you look at total, it's also not liquid. It's barely traded 100,000. Okay, a couple of times it's traded 100,000, but even this, it's not liquid because some of the most liquid stocks on the exchange in Nigeria are the banks. You have millions of shares trading, and once you're barely doing 100,000, 200,000, in my view, you're struggling with liquidity. It might not be a problem when you're buying, because for the average person, you probably are buying 1,000 shares, two, three, 5,000 shares, 10,000 shares. But when you want to sell those shares and you don't have a buyer on the other side, then it becomes a problem. So we've looked at liquidity. Now let's look at technicals. Eterna, let's see what the technicals say. Okay, the technicals say buy, moving averages, strong buy. Let's look at the different moving averages. Uh, Exponential also is buy. So literally, most of the averages say buy 20, 10, 30, 50. I mean, most of the averages I'm seeing here say buy. What does momentum say? MACD says sell. RSI is neutral. So generally, you can see 10, 10, 10 factors say neutral, 13 say buy, 3 say sell. So if you're going by moving averages, and moving averages are when you look at the volumes traded over a period of time. And so you have your 10, 20, 50, and all that respective day moving averages. Says buy. So let's look at Conoil PLC trading view. And so then let's also look at Total Nigeria PLC trading view. So for Conoil, what do the technicals say? Sell. 12 says sell, 10 neutral, 3 buy. I mean, moving averages all say sell, mostly sell. Where are the buy? MACD, momentum. Okay. Let's look at Total Nigeria trading view. What does it say? neutral. Mm, 7 indicators buy, 7 indicators sell, 10 indicators neutral. Averages say it's a mix of sells and buys. RSI neutral. So I mean, it depends on what you use. I know different technical indicators are take precedence depending on how you view it. So, if for instance you're a momentum player, it's not much of momentum in this stock. Now, if you're going by averages, it's mixed. Some say buy, some say sell, and the likes. I probably would find a day to kind of explain all these averages and what they mean, but um, the video is already probably a bit too long. And so let's go back to the Excel sheet. So clearly, and maybe in coming videos, I will put what fundamental says, technical analysis says, and let's hopefully it's not too complex. Do let me know if that's something you want. Have yourselves a great day ahead. Please like, share, subscribe.